Audio check 1 2 3 4 4 3 2 1. Be sure to hit that like button so I know you guys are with us and following. Audio check 1 2. Hey guys, AJ Town here live with the T-Storm Chasers, ready to start breaking down this winter storm system. What are we looking at? When are we looking at? And timing hour by hour is going to be coming up. We will get you covered with all that information, plus a couple other winter storm systems that we are watching for next week into next weekend. So we are certainly going to continue to monitor these winter storm systems that are going to continue to move through the area over the course of tomorrow. And then again, we're watching another one for the following week. And then we're watching one for the following weekend. So we are going to see a very active weather pattern. We even have a couple hints that we're going to be looking at some snow systems moving through the area all the way till the end of March. Don't worry, folks, we got you covered. We will break that all down. We will definitely talk about snow totals as well and what are we looking at. Stay tuned. Here we go. We're going to get right into this, folks. We're going to look at the national map. Now, we're going to back this out because this is starting us at 48 hours out. So we are definitely going to be looking at it coming across the western portions of the United States as that low pressure system starts to move across the Rockies. That's where things are going to really start to get fired up and really start bringing us our snow chances. There about Thursday morning, we see this mixed precipitation that's going to be possible to move through the area. So definitely something we're going to have to watch fairly closely is going to be the temps that are going to move through the area. As those temps move through the area there, we do have that concern of seeing of the mixed precipitation, some ice accumulation, and things along that. So we definitely need to keep an eye on that. As we go into this model now at 18 Zulu, we see the strongest portion of this cell moving through the area, which that is going to be about your lunch hour is what we are going to be looking at. Now as we go into the next model here, we do see that starting to taper off as it moves eastward. Good news is we expect this to be a one-day event. So we do expect to see things move out of the area by Thursday evening. So we don't expect to see things stick around and bring us a substantial amount of snow, but it is going to be a heavy, wet snow, moisture-filled that it goes through. Then as we go through the rest of the weekend there, we're not looking for anything else as far as precipitation. Down south is looking at a system pushing through there with that high-pressure system. Now there's where our next system starts to come through. We start watching that low-pressure system into next week here, middle of next week towards the end of next week, we start to see that next low pressure system bringing on, fortunately, California more moisture that they do not need. Now, California, one thing is that is unfortunately about ready to be part of the ocean. They have received so much rain out there that it is substantially flooding across almost the whole entire state. We are hearing of mudslides. We're hearing of snow up in the mountains, over 5 feet of snow up there. They are just getting pounded out western coast there, unfortunately. So we continue to watch this next low pressure system. That's going to bring us our next chance of seeing that. We expect to move that into the area, western portions of South Dakota. Come Wednesday evening, we expect to see that move into the area. That'll continue to progress its way eastward here. As you do notice here, right here, we're 192 hours. Let me move this way. We're 192 hours out, so we do expect a little bit of a change in these models. So don't hold it 100% to this. Now as we come into Thursday, that's when we start to see that system really affect the Sioux Falls and eastern portions of South Dakota. So something we are watching closely is going to be those temps. Those temps are going to be what matters, how the snow system is going to really impact the area. Then as we go into your Thursday evening there, we still see that rain sticking around, wrapping back around and bringing us our snow chances for Friday as we come into that commute. Good news is that's going to be quickly moving out of the area system as that does progress into Friday. We will see some showers linger and snow chances on Friday, but then we are looking at the rest of that weekend. We're looking at another chance of seeing some snow. We'll jump into that here with that GFS model in just a little bit and definitely see that pattern. Let's take a closer look at home here. We're going to start this model here on Wednesday evening is what we are going to start really watching this model here, moving into the area. Then as we come into Thursday morning there, we start to see things move into western portions of South Dakota. We are going to see that as a probability of a mixed precipitation. Then as we go Thursday morning here, about your commute time is when we start to see that really start to ramp up here in the South Dakota or eastern portions of South Dakota area there. That is going to bring that chance of seeing some of that mixed precipitation move into the area. As that goes into the next slide here, we do see that heavier band that is going to be pushing through the Sioux Falls area. Right about your lunch hour is what we are looking at with that. So that is going to be bringing us some heavier wet snow as that goes into your lunch hour. Then about your commute home, we do expect things to really start to slow down as that system moves eastward and out of the area. We are going to be looking at probably about an inch of snow with that as that pushes out of the area. We're not expecting a substantial snowfall with this at 6 o'clock in the evening. We do expect it just to be a little bit of a messy commute because of that snow chances. Now, one thing that we do have our concerned on, again, is coming into next week is going to be this next storm system that we are watching fairly closely. Good news is the rest of the week there, you saw how quick I flew through those slides. We're not looking at anything for the area pretty much, just a slight chance of a dusting here or there. Now, as we go into next week, 192 hours out, again, right here is what we are looking at. We do see that chance of another rain and snow system pushing through the area on Wednesday into Thursday of next week, and then wrapping around and bringing us a snow chance on Friday, and finally moving out of the area quickly on Friday. So we are definitely continuing to monitor a weather pattern with this. Now let's talk snow totals. What are we looking at? So as this system pushes through, we're going to be right around that 4 to 6 inch mark. You can see right here, pick your counties out, pick your area out, and kind of look at that. Now, I think the next model that we're going to show is going to be the HRRR. So that is hour by hour that one goes. And that one gives us a little less of a snow total. I do think that kind of overplays it there as far as the less of a snow total. I'm right around that 4 to 6 inch mark is what we are looking at for this area. So definitely going to see some accumulation with that. Now, as we go through the rest of the week, like I did mention there, we're not looking at another amount of snow. But as we go towards the end there, we start to see things ramp up again. Right around, another inch or two with that clipper system that's pushing through, long as that stays as a rain system. So definitely something to monitor. Now, one thing that I really have the greatest concern about, it is not going to be the snow that's going to move through the area. It's going to be the winds, folks. We are looking at very, very high wind gusts that is going to be pushing through the area here on Thursday into Friday, where we will see wind gusts upwards to between 40 to 45 upwards. Some areas could see even 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts pushing through as the snow system impacts the area. And then same thing on the day on Friday is we're watching that as well. So we do have some of that chance of seeing that snow system really ramping up and impacting us with a wind system versus that snow system. So then as we go Thursday into Friday, I do expect to start seeing some school delays and stuff with this wind, as it's going to cause that blowing and drifting snow. So definitely be prepared for your kids to be home on Friday as this system does start to ramp up and move through the area. I'm not saying schools are going to be closed as of right this second, but definitely have a plan in place because we could see the probability of that. Now, one thing I did mention as we do look at this is going to be those temps. Today is going to be a gorgeous one. Definitely get out there where we're going to see anywhere between 40 to 60 or 45 to 60 degree weather. Some areas are hinting in central portions of South Dakota. They're upwards to 70 degree, which will allow some of the snow to melt and everything with that. Now, again, as we go into next week, let's jump into next week here. We are looking at temps in that upper freezing portion. So this is where we are going to see that chance of some snow is going to be, if depending on these temps. This model is definitely hinting that temps are going to be warmer as we go into that Wednesday into Thursday. So we could see that as a snow system. So definitely something we are paying close attention to with that as well is going to be those temps as we go into next week, because that's really what's going to matter, what we're going to see about on coming into next week, middle of next week. There's going to be those temps that's going to be at play. What about travel on Sunday to Sioux City? I definitely don't think you're going to have a problem on a Sunday. It's going to be more of a Thursday, Friday event, and we'll definitely look at that here. As I did mention, let's jump into this. We have a winter storm watch that is in effect for the areas there in, give me a second here to get that pulled up. Winter storm watch in effect for the areas there in orange. A winter storm watch in effect from late tonight through Friday morning. Blizzard conditions are possible. Total snow accumulation of 3 to 7 inches. Now, this is not put out by us. We just use a different map than what the National Weather Service does. But this is put out actually by National Weather Service of Sioux Falls. So this was not something that we put out to go with this. Next thing that we're going to look into here is going to be, there is a special weather statement for northern portions, and you can see there on the map there. Basically, winter weather returns tonight through Thursday as a slow pressure system moves through the area. We do expect to be about 1 to 3 inches of snow is what's going to be possible. Again, winds are going to be what our greatest concern. As we jump down into Nebraska there, we are watching a winter weather advisory is in effect for the areas there in green. Sorry, on my other screen was purple. Goes in effect tonight and goes through Thursday. They are looking at 1 to 3 inches in that area in green. North Platte, Grand Island, and north and along and north of I-80 is what they are looking at with that. So definitely going to be some winter weather moving through that area for those of you that travel southward. Now we're going to take a quick look at our pivotal weather map, which is going to be our GFS, as we did mention here. We do have that first snow system. Let me slow things down here. We do have that first snow system that is going to move through, bringing us that heavier chance Thursday into Friday. Then as we go through the rest of the weekend there, we just have a little clipper system moving in for the weekend. Then we have a high pressure system that dominates the area, bringing us our chances very low of seeing moisture move through the area, which is a positive there. Then as we start to get into next week, we start to watch this next low pressure system that is moving off of the west coast there, that it's going to get pounded again by rain and snow, unfortunately. And that low pressure system is going to move eastward and bring us our next chance of seeing some snow and rain of Thursday of next week as well. And then we do see that wraps around, basically giving us a hurricane effect. So some of you might see a wraparound on that, and definitely bring snow totals a little higher. Then, as we did mention, there is another low pressure system that is moving across the area. Now, that low pressure system this time moved a little further south this model run. If you go back and watch us that we did 2 nights ago, that low pressure system was a little further northward and bringing us our snow chances again. So definitely something that we are watching there as that scoots along southward. Then here is our next storm system that we are looking at. Now this is, again, 324 to 348 hours out. This is Wednesday, March 29th. So definitely does have some time to change. Take this one with that grain of salt that I like to utilize and say, because it is just, hey, dude, watch this. It might happen. We don't know yet. You know, it's too far out to do it. The GFS is not consistent with snowstorms and being correct on them. So definitely take that with a grain of salt. Now let's take a quick look at our winter weather outlook here for our snow totals. As we do take a quick look there, we do see our snow totals. Let's actually zoom in here. Give me just a quick second. We'll zoom into our snow totals. We'll go next. So the GFS is even saying right about that 5.8. So between that 4 to 6 inch mark is what we are seeing consistently with this. Now, as I did mention, that we will take a quick look at our HRRR snow total, and I think this is a little on the lower end of it, that our snow totals are going to be a little higher than what we are looking at. Definitely, though, it's going to feel higher because of that blowing and drifting snow that we are going to be looking at into this weekend, Thursday, Friday, and possibly Saturday as well. As we take a quick look at your hour-by-hour forecast here, let's jump into that here. We'll start things right about, we start to see things move into the area here tonight, and then we do watch that come through, come into the overnight hours, bringing some rain chances to south central portions of South Dakota, moving eastward. As you start to wake up, do expect those in the Mitchell area, Highway 281 and Highway 18 area, basically there south of the Huron area. Be ready for some of that mixed precipitation to move through, ice accumulation. Do expect a little bit of a messier commute. That'll continue to progress its way eastward into Highway 81, along Highway 18 and I-80 or I-90 there. We do expect to see that move through. Let me make sure that I am looking at the correct screen. Yep, you guys are looking at what I'm looking at. Perfect. Then as we come into your commute there, we do expect to start seeing things change over from rain to snow chances. So definitely something we are going to have to keep a close eye on is going to be those temps as they move across and move into the area. So that snow chance about 7:30 is what we are going to be. About between 7 and 8 o'clock is what we are looking at of seeing some of that snow chance and mixed precipitation move through the area. There's a heavier band of snow moving through right about your 10 o'clock time frame. Then we'd expect to see things like I mentioned here by your commute home, things tapering off and out of the area. So that is good news that we are seeing that again. Now this is just one of those model runs. Again, we do expect to see things move in Thursday morning and out by your commute home on Thursday night. So going to definitely see some mixed precipitation move through. Let's take a quick look at your latest National Weather Service as of 4 a.m. Here is the potential snow amounts. They're between 2 to 7 inches. Again, what's going to really impact that is going to be those temps. Something we're going to have to watch fairly closely is going to be those temps. If they dip down just a little bit below that freezing point, then we're going to have that chance of seeing some of it as a higher amount between that 4 to 6 inches, what I am going to definitely be looking at. As we come into a closer look here from the National Weather Service, again, we're going to use the next 4 slides are going to be from the National Weather Service. They are not ours. They are not anything to do with us. Again, they are saying right about that 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock time frame is what we are looking at the system moving through. Potential of 8+ inches is very low. Medium of that 4+ inches, above about 61%. So we are looking at, again, right around that 4 to 6 inch mark is where I'm going to be at with this winter storm. Now, this is, again, a map put out by the National Weather Service. Definitely, let me move out of the area here. You can see definitely some winds are going to be a concern come Thursday into Friday. As that moves through the area there, we are going to see those winds really, really start ramping up and picking up come through the day on Thursday and lasting Friday into Saturday morning. So definitely going to be some windy conditions and poor road conditions because of these winds as they move through the area. Here's a look at your timing down hour by hour with the national. Actually, these are 3-hour increments. I do apologize. By the National Weather Service there. About 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. is going to be looking at a small chance of seeing some rain and mixed precipitation. There after 7 to your lunch hour-ish, we are looking at the greatest potential of seeing some wintry mix pushing through the area, which we did mention there on that HRRR. And then as you go into the afternoon, into the early evening, we are seeing that switch over to that snow and pushing through. Again, temps are going to be a huge factor in this. If temps stick above that freezing mark or right at that freezing mark, we're going to see that mixed precipitation. If we have those temps drop down below freezing before a lot of the system comes through, then we are going to be seeing more of a wintry mix with that as well. One thing I do want to mention, as we are dealing with a winter storm, down south is going to be dealing with a chance of seeing some severe weather. Now we're talking a couple tornadoes. Probability there in that yellow area does include the Dallas, Texas area, just southern portions of Oklahoma. Does include a little bit of Louisiana, Arkansas area there that we are looking at. And then there's that slight chance. Basically, the higher the chance of probability, the higher possibility of seeing some naders down there. So we are definitely looking at that possibility as well. As we take a quick look at your 511 road report here across the area, good news as of right now, things are dry. We are looking to have those change. If you go north of the Sioux Falls area, north of Del Rapids there, they are showing a bit of a scattered wet. And Highway 34 there into Madison is showing scattered ice and slippery spots. So we're going to definitely see some of this move through the area. We're going to definitely some probability of this occurring. I definitely expect different colors on this map this time tomorrow. As we look again at your city streets, you can see they are dry and perfectly drivable. So definitely going to see some things moving through the area. That's going to change this outlook as well. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight or this morning. Sorry, I keep saying night, and I don't know why I keep saying night. But thank you for joining us. We definitely appreciate this. And I'm AJ Town, live with the T-Storm Chasers, bringing you the latest update. Thanks, guys. Have a fantastic